I wish I had the fuck. I wish I had the. What do you call that?
Opening?
Yeah. Well, here's our opening. What do you call that? That that fucking that meme Jewish song. That's what fuck, man. It's all right. We'll come up with it. Give me like 2 seconds.
Bro, I'm fucking mad.
Listen,
Dude,
listen. I'm mad too. Brandon's not here. Again. I was promised this debate 3,000 years ago by God, and I have not received it. So before we begin today's patchwork episode, because that's what we had to do, I want to start off by saying Brandon sucks. He's forever the bagel maker. He's gonna try to join this podcast later in the second hour, and we have to remind him that he sucks because all he's doing is cutting his opponent's time. Okay, and then he's gonna stay here later while Eric's
and he's cutting the moderator's time as well because he knows that we aren't able to stay as late. He's doing this purposely.
Nah, Eric, you should just make it.
Nah, here, hold on. You know what? Monkey? I know you said that I had to stay slightly filtered and I had to speak within reason, but seeing that the little bitch turd decided not to show up tonight, I am officially saying fuck that. And here's what I'm gonna say. Look, I don't want to hear any of the bullshit excuses of you got work, you're doing this, your girlfriend has her dildo up your ass. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but I'm just letting you know this right now, motherfucker. I work 12 goddamn hours a fucking day. I run my own motherfucking business. And no, I didn't have to ask for some little fucking handout loan in order to start it. I understand that's probably what you think because I was born Jewish, but newsflash, not every single fucking Jew has to ask for a goddamn handout. I started everything on this bitch on my fucking own, okay? I made it over to being able to work with the NWA on my own. I'd be able to work with guys like Richard Holiday, EC3, Pretty Boy Smooth, fucking Pastor CeeLo. I get to work with people like Pollo Del Mar, Brian Idol, Natalia Markova, Silas Mason, people that I've been watching for my entire goddamn life that I've been dying to be able to do. And then somebody like you wants to come here and say that the only reason why I got that is because I'm fucking Jewish. And then every single motherfucking time when we're supposed to have a fucking debate about this whole goddamn shit, you got a fucking excuse as to why you can't be on here. You got some motherfucking excuse, whether it's that your girlfriend's working or you're bent over for her or whatever the fuck it is that you got going on. I legitimately am done with this argument. Eric, I don't want to hear your shit talking in the group chat anymore. I don't want to hear your shit talking in here anymore. And just so you know, if I ever hear you go off on Rick the way you did last week ever again, if I ever fucking see you in person, I will punch you directly in the face.
Ooh, get shit. All right.
Eric, he's worse than a Jew. He's a Democrat.
Oh, wow.
Nah, at this point, he's worse than a fucking Democrat. He's a fucking little bitch. He's another Candace Owens. There we go. He's Candace Owens.
Well, you gotta remember, this is the same guy who also openly declares himself to be Antifa.
Actually, that is a really that was uncanny, like really good, Eric. Because
it's fitting. Candace Owens is a fitting comparison there.
Which we got. Fuck, I didn't even get to that. I didn't even put that on the docket. We can open.
Yeah, we should talk about that too.
We're gonna open up right with that, but yes,
let's talk about that. Actually,
let's
fucking talk about it.
We had a Candace Owens like situation happen here.
So I'm sure everybody heard that Turning Point USA and Candace Owens had a debate scheduled, and then of course, last minute Candace Owens canceled.
Yep.
Yeah, but it wasn't just as simple as that, dude. It was.
Oh no! Did you hear her reasoning? Her husband didn't feel safe with her going to the Turning Point USA headquarters.
Yeah.
Why?
That was the reasoning she gave.
No. First, time out. First, it was anytime, any place. right?
Yep.
That's how this shit all started. Then it was, oh well, dude, like, hello, whoa, I got to call babysitters, and my husband had this thing planned at the house, and he's not going to let me just go. And I respect my husband; he runs the house, so if he says I have to stay, I have to stay. And all this, bunch of not anywhere, anytime. But then it evolved into, well, my husband's actually doesn't feel safe with me and you and him going over there because, well, they kill Charlie Kirk and they could kill me too. But then, then she can definitely take that trip to Miami to make sure that she's on the podcast for Fresh and Fit.
Yep.
So,
and then she wants to talk shit about all these other
I just love the shit as well. Right.
Like, here's my shtick. You think what my thing is? You want to know why I think she switched sides? It's because her sponsor switched. That's why.
Indeed. Either that or she got new sponsors.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Look, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, every last one of them. You want to know what I think they are? Useless pieces of oxygen. That's it. You want to know why? Because literally all they do is spew shit out of their fucking mouth and talk shit and fucking.
Okay, so my meme here is actually a little fitting for that. I wouldn't completely pair Alex Jones with the other two because Alex Jones is a little more of his own, like he spews shit, yes, but it's his own mind of shit that he's spewing. Whereas if we're talking about Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens, they have sponsors. They have people paying them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you guys this.
Whereas Alex Jones, we just got him running around saying, we got the water turning the freaking frogs gay. And then I found out it actually is true.
With the exception of Nick Fuentes, what is it with these people that hate Zionists and Jews and Israel so much that they run away from debates so goddamn often? Like, do we have like
because
a
they
pattern?
don't want to look stupid.
Do we have a pattern?
That has to be it, that they don't want to look stupid, because the theories have been going on for so long, and now we're having people finally saying, "Oh, well, we have receipts." Well, then show the receipts. Show what you have. Show the proof. Just show us already. Just stop talking about it.
I don't think it's stupidity. I'm going to offer something else.
No, it's propaganda. It's literally.
I honestly think it has to do with what I said to him earlier, if I'm being completely honest, because he was bringing up those comments about Jewish circumcision, and he was talking about how it's practiced in Orthodox Judaism. Now, me being a former modern Jew, I will be the first one to say that most of us modern Jews thought that Orthodox and Messianic Jews were, what's a nice way to put this, insane. And the reason being is, well, a lot of the practices that Orthodox Jews had, if you look very closely, are quite similar to Muslim practices. So, one thing that was in particular that he was talking about was, what is it? Here, let me see.
Fucking Eric said, I came ready for a debate. We're having one. I don't have an opponent, but
yes, it's okay. So he was talking about the Metzitva Bepe, which that is a Orthodox Jewish circumcision ceremony where, and this is going to be a little vulgar, the rabbi sucks the blood from the baby schmeckle.
Yeah, I heard that from somebody.
Now, in Orthodox Judaism, is this practice? Yeah. Do I think it's right? Fuck no. Disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm not one of those fucking libtards that's just like, oh, well, this is wrong, but the same exact thing is happening right here, but it's okay because it's our people.
It's one of those ancient practices that has never changed, and they don't ever stop and think, maybe this wouldn't look so good in society anymore. Maybe we should change this.
But
just like how back in the 1920s, oh, your wife won't shut up. Here, hand her some cocaine.
can I ask a question?
Yes.
How many people are actually doing that real world?
Right now, nobody.
I was about to say, right now, it's very little, because you got to remember, religions have evolved over time to what they are because people did stuff like that over the years.
Actually,
People realized how fucked up it was.
Just hand him a Coke.
So I wanted to offer that it wasn't. I don't think it's stupidity. I actually think it's intentional.
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna take
destroy
it back
society from the inside.
No, not even that. I'm gonna take it back to Candace. I wish Slender, I could give him even that much credit, but it's not that. Slender, what I'm gonna say is pretty easy. It's pretty easy to figure out. Candace Owens comes from a long line of people that do this thing called grifting.
Oh, you mean specifically Candace? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it can go further. I actually have this opinion of Nick Fuentes that I'll elaborate on in a second. But when it comes to Candace, the best way that I could put this in a way that most people can understand in a layman term, if you knew in the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, if you had the first episode of Dragon Ball Z queued up, and then they go from the beach where Gohan gets taken by Raditz straight to Goku turning Super Saiyan and then killing Frieza, that's it. That's the end of the fucking story. Like, at least for that saga, that's the end of the fucking story. In 30 minutes, you can't make money off of a 30-minute episode. You got to stretch that bitch out, which is why we have these things called filler episodes, or episodes where half of the fucking episode is just them powering up and talking shit, powering up and talking shit, powering up and talking shit, and see what happens next week. Same thing with Candace Owens. If she just gives you the bag all at once, which the bag, by the way, is there is no bag. But if she gives you that all at once, then there's no reason to keep watching. So what does she do? Well, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And isn't this funny? And then isn't this funny? She doesn't actually give you any direct evidence that points to any of this shit. She's just asking questions, because that's all they do. Ask questions. So what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? I just found out something about this. Tune in next week. Bam! There's your grift.
Hey,
and people keep tuning. And people keep tuning.
Don't make huge loud noises because my birds
Oh,
are outside.
Sorry about your birds. With Nick, I think we touched on it during the Destiny Nick Hassan episode. But with Nick, he's just better at it than like Candace or Carlson or Nick's existed in this world the entire time. He was born into this shit. So his grift is completely different. When he told fucking Pierce Morgan that he was a virgin, I don't fucking believe that for a second. I don't believe Nick's not fucked. I think Nick's fucked. We can have an argument on who's Nick fucked, who Nick's fucked, whether it be a girl or Destiny's asshole. That's
it was Destiny.
That's a completely different fucking conversation. But he's fucked. All right. I don't believe for a second that Nick Fuentes is fucking a virgin, but you have to be if you're Nick Fuentes, because you're the king of the incel army. You're the groiper god, which means you can't be fucking. You gotta be involuntarily celibate. You can't.
I would say I do honestly believe the one thing that's not a grift of him though is that I do believe he actually appreciates and likes the Nazi military for how they worked as a military. Because the way he talks about that, the way he talks about that's a little too passionate. Everything else I can believe he is a grifter on, but that part is a little too passionate for me.
I don't know if I believe even that, but I can understand why you would think that way.
I mean, to be fair, the Nazi military was, if we're talking in terms of just military, was a good military. But
any military that could take over half of the fucking world is a good
right,
military statistically.
but they decided to have too many barbecues.
Up until America. But when it comes to these guys, I feel like they figured out something. Extreme right, alt-right, Nazi, white supremacist people really love to spend money on stupid shit. As long as that stupid shit in some way, shape, or form validates their worldview.
I'll go a step further. I don't think it even has to be completely extreme right people. I think it's just people that would even find it a joke and would just like jokingly be a part of it just to add to it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was even
because you got to remember, it's mostly young men in his audience.
Yeah.
Who do we think the audience is for Candace Owens?
Retards.
People like Ashley.
Retards.
Christians.
People like Ashley. I was gonna say that. People like Ashley. Because I got a question about that. How did we get here? Where did Candace Owens come from, and why? Where did that come? When did the podcast become popular? I know Candace Owens has been around forever, but when did we start taking her seriously?
During the campaign, she was like really on the Trump
train. I believe it's not just being on the Trump train. I believe it was her connection. It was, I believe, Charlie kind of like boosted her with Turning Point USA.
Charlie did boost her. Yeah.
Because she was with Turning Point USA for a while, and that's when she got really big. And Charlie got big on his own during the campaign and everything with all of his YouTube shorts and TikToks and all that.
Candace Owens' fan base.
She's pure grifter. She's pure grifter.
Yes, but the fan base that she's grifting from is a conspiracy theorist right wing fan base. These are going to be your QAnoners. These are going to be the guys that like fell for QAnon.
Pretty much.
Yeah, great grift, because these people spend a fuckload of money for no fucking reason. But let me ask this then. I heard Tim Pool say something that I wanted to bring to the podcast. I don't have the clip on it, obviously. But he had said that if the Republicans lose the midterms in 2026, he believes that Candace Owens would be wholly responsible for that result.
Yeah,
so how much do we agree with that statement?
No, I don't believe she would be wholly responsible for that.
I would think the absence of Charlie Kirk would be more responsible.
I don't think that would be the nail in the coffin either. I think it's more. You have to remember, not every.
I'm going to say,
look, Trump has lived up to a lot of his promises, but he hasn't lived up to them to the degree that people have expected.
And he hasn't gotten the ultimate. And I know Pops is tired of hearing this.
Well, the Epstein is the ultimate for some people, but I mean, I honestly knew that was something that wasn't really going to happen for the longest time. So
I've already said last week that this coming election is solely going to be based on the economy.
The economy is probably the biggest point right now.
I agree with that. I think it goes economy, border.
The border's already said.
I think the top three is economy, border, Epstein.
Border's not entirely said and done. We're not doing as well when it comes to deportations yet.
Well, it's not January 1st yet. When January 1st comes around, the big beautiful bill goes into effect. The amount of money that people are going to get for that doing the deportation is going to skyrocket because they got a lot of money in that bill that's going to go towards hiring more people to deport people.
We'll see.
More ICE agents.
We'll see. I hope that is the case. We'll see,
No, I
because
mean, as
his
far as
first
the
term,
bill goes,
he got out around 2 million deportations, pretty close to Obama's 3 million in 8 years. So
but as far as the bill goes, they'll have
since we've been
a
slowing
ton
down,
of money to put towards that.
I gotta ask you something. We have this back and forth in the chat a couple days ago. This is why I wish you paid attention to the fucking chat, because some of these days I need a proper MAGA representation in that chat. Charles is too busy. There was a debate that the MAGA party is splitting between MAGA and America First, and that blew my brain. So I asked them to fucking elaborate on that, because I thought MAGA was America First, and I got a lot of pushback from the right wing guys, except for Charles. He wasn't in the chat. Who were MAGA voters in this election, who were saying no, MAGA's become what was it that Brandon said? Make Israel great again. The other one, Gabriel, said no, it's MAGA's all up in Venezuela now, all up in Israel, all up in. That's not America First. America First is like they're saying that there's going to be a split, and what comes out of the split is MAGA versus America First, and America First is your ultimate isolationist. These people do not want to be involved with the world. And I wanted to ask, like, where you, like, is that like a, because this is my chat, bro. There's like 3 or 4 people. Like, is this a consensus in the party? Or you get like guys having these conversations?
No, I mean,
is there contempt in the party about what we're
the
doing
ones
overseas?
that feel that way are leaning more towards the Groyper side.
Groypers are a big part of this. Groypers are the ones that are fucking shouting this the loudest. They're the ones that are trying to take over the America First movement and be the ones that are the flag bearers of that. So they're trying to say, like, we were right all along. It isn't hate Jews and hate Israel. It's we don't want anything to do with anybody. We don't want to be with Israel. We don't want to be with Venezuela. We don't want to be with fucking Ukraine. We don't care about any of these.
What they're not realizing is, like, the Venezuela thing is kind of important. I don't know if you know what happened today, but
we're going to cover it.
Where they seized the tanker.
The tanker, yeah, we're going to cover it. That's in the docket.
So that's got a lot to do with the issue in Venezuela. And I don't know if you know, but the lady that actually got elected as president, she's in Switzerland now, or Denmark or some shit. She got out of the country.
And been hiding for 11 months.
Putting her back in power is actually going to help the U.S.
Yes, I remember.
So
okay,
so
I do know a bit about the two, America First and MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them are things Trump has said, right? And basically
just two different Trump fucking slogans, yeah.
Right, but they've formed like culture or groups around them. So MAGA, of course, is Make America Great Again, and that one is the one where it's like rewinding the clock on jobs, the borders, stuff like that. It's the one where it was the Red Hat Revolution. But
MAGA
then America
back
First,
to the 90s.
No, yes, MAGA wants to go back to the 90s, basically. Like that's kind of like how it's going, or like the early 2000s, you know, when stuff was like still pretty damn good overall. America First was the one where they want to go back to like the 1940s. Like they, you know, if you remember, if you looked into post World War II, or dodging World War II type of stuff.
Yeah, late 1940s would be post War II.
Right, but the people that wanted all the talks about like dodging World War II and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's what they want. So they don't want, and that's who people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are. If that says anything, so they want a pure America isolationist type of thing. which
That's not realistic.
right. If you want to do pure isolationist, then the rest of the world will probably devolve into chaos,
Huh.
and it will flood over into your country at some point.
Not even that,
However,
because
Mhm.
I don't even have that subscription. I don't think the world devolves into the chaos that you might think. And the world will
What?
change because we're the number one influence in it. And if we decide
right.
not to be
Go
the
upstairs.
influencers, hold up. If we decide not to be influencers anymore in the world,
You
somebody
get
else
that.
will pick up that ball. And it'll probably be like Russia, China, a mixture of both, and
China's
Iran.
already trying to pick up that ball.
The world will not
China.
see us, our way of life, democracy, our way of government as like an example anymore. It'll see China as the example or Russia as the example, which means little governments won't become democratic anymore. Little governments will end up being socialist or communist. That changes the outlook of the world drastically. So, yeah, there is
The things, the things that realistically you have to look at is that a lot of the stuff that Trump has done overseas is very important.
I don't disagree.
So I mean,
I don't
he's
disagree.
living up to the America First thing, but he's got to do things overseas to help
I
America.
think there's a big issue with the misunderstanding that our involvement with things overseas does not mean that we're not in it for ourselves or some shit, or we're not thinking of
We're
America
definitely in it for
first.
ourselves.
Like, first
Well, the
off,
Venezuela thing is definitely for ourselves, because not only are we is it to stop people from bringing drugs into the country, it's also to take their oil.
Yeah, and minerals.
and we just
Yes, and minerals.
we just took an oil tanker, so not for
Yep.
nothing, but
Well, so here's the other thing about it. People think that it's just about taking the stuff, but they have to remember, or they have to look into it and realize that Venezuela was selling this underhandedly to places that were supporting terrorists or just directly to terrorists, trying to avoid the U.S. sanctions.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they kind of fucked around, and now they found out, and that's why the rest of their ships are staying in the port.
and then on top of that, on the military standpoint, because we talk a lot about being isolationists in this America's First group, but I don't think we ever consider war time or like conflict in that scenario. Like, if anybody's got an issue with us, now all of a sudden we ain't got no motherfucking allies. There's like no bordering
We still got
states.
plenty of allies.
No, if we become if we become
Yeah, you can't.
America
Right.
only isolationists, we're not helping nobody. Nobody's our ally.
Right.
So Canada invades us tomorrow, we ain't got no fucking support. Mexico invades us tomorrow, we ain't got no support. The entire world invades us tomorrow, we ain't got no fucking support. It does not make any fucking sense. And then on top of that, economically, how much money do we make on the fucking world? And if we decide to be isolationists, do you think the world's just going to let us do business with them anymore? No. We might as well be, if we're going to be isolationists, go look up like how fucking Cuba operates, or fucking Haiti.
Cuba's fucked. Haiti's fucked too.
Like there's countries that are isolationists, not by choice, but by, embargo or something, and they don't end up being well. I don't know why we would choose to do that to ourselves. Like, especially with the racket that we run on the motherfucking world, because we run a racket. We run a racket, guys. We do. We run a fucking racket. And it's important that we keep running it, because those food stamps that you like need to be paid somehow. the military that you enjoy that protects you needs to be paid somehow. Like, I don't. Your cars that you guys like, they get filled with this thing called gas. So we need this other shit called oil. We do things for a reason. The on the economic level, it would be a fucking complete crisis to be isolationist, especially turning it on tomorrow.
That's what this president understands more than any other president we've ever had, is the economical advantage that we need to have.
So when we talk about, let's talk about fucking Israel real quick, because it goes
Actually,
to our.
I was actually about to hop off here, guys. I'm getting pretty tired.
Go ahead. You won the debate. You won the debate. Good job.
Yes.
Third time in a fucking row, apparently.
Winning the debate.
Undefeated champion right here.
If Brandon, if you're listening, if you could just fucking show up once. Like this time you challenged me. Fucking dickhead.
Undefeated champion right here.
God, go masturbate to your fucking Fuhrer. I'll talk to y'all later.
Later.
Have a good night.
If Brandon ends up
Will do.
joining this podcast at the end, you're gonna have to like kill him.
If Brandon shows up at the end of this podcast, you could personally tell him I said to get bent.
All right.
Bye.
I was talking to Slender, but all right, we got you.
Later.
All right, later, dude. But yeah, let's talk about Israel real quick, because when we talk about the whole Republican Party split, the American First split, or whatever the fuck split, Israel's like the number one main issue and all of that. I don't know why it's always Israel, but it's always fucking Israel's like the biggest problem in the world now. A country the size of New Jersey is like the number one problem in the entire fucking world.
Well, there's always the theories and everything of how, even though you have to remember per capita stats play a part in it, because there is a large per capita, a large portion of them that control things like, Hollywood and stuff like that. But it could just go into all kinds of things behind it, instead of it being just a whole conspiracy theory like that they're just purposely trying to take over the world.
I don't even think it's that deep. Jews are just,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
listen,
That's what I'm saying. It's not that deep.
There's things that everybody is good at in the world.
Shit.
Okay? Jews are good at entertainment and finance. Like fucking Hispanics and Mexicans are good at agriculture and fucking manual labor. Americans, we're good in the finance department. We're good with technology. So are Asians. Like, just there's some things that we're just better at than other things. And it's because of like cultural,
on a cultural average, yes. That doesn't mean that that'll always be the case with everyone in that culture, but on average, that is usually the type of case.
Yeah, that's like how the trends work. So when you see a whole bunch of fucking Steens and Bergs and whatever in fucking Hollywood, I don't think anything different of it. I don't think anything different of it when I see a bunch of Steens and Bergs in the lawyer department either. Like, this just makes sense to me. So to that end, I don't really, but that's Jews. I'm talking about like Israel, the government, the state of Israel, or the country of Israel, rather.
That's because it ties into that. That's why it ties into the country because of that. So,
I've always had this belief whenever the alliance between America and Israel gets questioned. I always have this belief. First off, I'm 9/11 brained, and I don't have to explain that too much, because like I could go on forever about how I feel about that, and I think I've already explained to death on this podcast. So, taking the 9/11 aspect out of it, that country and Saudi Arabia and Egypt, I think, are like the three main American allies in that area, and the longest of those allies, I believe, is Israel.
Yeah. Yes.
You might have to fact check me on that. So if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure our longest standing ally in that region is Israel.
Absolutely.
So we have a historical like backing for this alliance, and then on top of that, like purpose of the alliance through Israel, we have this thing called influence. It's a country on the Middle East, that runs similar, very similar, damn near the same as how we run our country on the West. They are a Western influence in the Middle East. This helps us communicate with that side of the world. They can speak both languages. Israel's great. They can speak to the people we don't understand, like Egypt and Jordan and Saudi Arabia and so on and so forth. And they can still give our side of like cultures, understandings, and negotiations, and so on and so forth. They can speak that language, and they can still speak our language. Helps us with communication. Helps us build bridges with other people. Without Israel, I don't think we do have any other allies in that. I don't think Egypt becomes an ally. I don't think Saudi Arabia becomes an ally, or Yemen, or any of these other people. Like, and I don't even think Yemen's an ally. Yet Yemen can flip. The terrorist-run states flip all the fucking time once you get rid of the terrorism in there. But, you know, without Israel, I don't think we have a really strong sphere of influence on a consistent level in that area. And then if we don't have that and we still got to go influence that area, well, what does that influence look like? It looks like a bunch of death, destruction, bombs, mayhem, and then we end up becoming dicks. So in the long run, it's like lose-lose. Like, you either deal with Israel, become big Satan, or you end up showing that you are big Satan when you're bombing everybody because nobody's fucking listening to you. I don't understand where we came. It feels like a switch, dude, because it happened so fast. But I feel like one day I woke up and then the country decided, half of them at least decided, well, we don't fuck with Israel anymore. I don't know how the fuck we got here. That's been the biggest. I wish Brandon was here for this. That's been the biggest question I've had all along. What the hell happened? It was like agreed upon in this country for like fucking years and years and years. Israel good. We're okay with those guys. What the fuck happened? Like, maybe you can help me because I'm lost. I'm lost on that.
Oh, it's a good question. It's something that would be great if we had, someone that had like the real hatred for the country, like some of these people do, to really explain it and help us understand that. I mean, I can only go off of, I like to, when I talk about stuff, I like to talk about crazy conspiracy theories and things like that, just because it's fun for me and the possibilities. And of course, a lot of conspiracy theories have been proven true, but there have also been a fair amount that have been proven untrue. So
the far left had a lot to do with that.
So did the alt-right, though. Like the extreme on both sides, crazily enough, have like this agreement point, and it's they both hate Israel, and I just don't understand it. In favor of Hamas or Hezbollah or the Houthis. And I don't mean to just beat up on like.
I don't. Does the far right support Hamas?
No, the far right the far right doesn't like them for other reasons. The far right doesn't like Jews. So that's like a whole other thing. It's a racism thing there, or an anti-Semitic thing there. But when it comes to like leftists, it's the same energy, but for different fucking reasons. They see Israel as like the new Nazi Germany. They see Israel as people that are doing a Holocaust on Palestinians and shit
Which
to
is
that nature.
absurd,
Which is
because the people that actually suffered the Holocaust were the Jews.
I don't know a single concentration camp in Gaza. I don't. But that's how they believe that. That's they have an agree point. We hate Jews, but it's for different fucking reasons. And I don't.
Yes.
The right thinks the Jews hate the world, or that the Jews control the world and are trying to fuck over everybody financially, and the left thinks that they're just bloodthirsty Nazi fucks that want to kill Palestinians. I blame people like Nick Fuentes and Hassan for this, but to not beat up on the low-hanging fruit, I don't know how on the societal level, to the normie, not to the streamer that has the 500 fucking million followers, but to the normal person that probably does not have a Twitch account. How the fuck did we get here? Like, what media is feeding? Because I don't even see this on like on regular legacy media. Regular legacy media is super pro-Israel, pro-Zionist type shit. So where's the diet? And the diet, this is what I was trying to tell you. The diet's coming from the people that I just mentioned, fucking the streamers. That's our new political outlook now. Our new we're not watching cable anymore. So our new political outlet is these crazy cartoon character fucking freakazoids that come up on Piers Morgan and say, "I love Hitler," or some crazy stupid shit like that. And that I want to know how this became normally acceptable. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that answer, but I want to know how it became normally acceptable, because back when I was growing up, we bullied these kids. Like Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a guy I would swirly 1,000 fucking times in high school. There's no fucking way. Like, maybe that's what it is. Maybe we stop bullying people. Maybe it stopped being socially acceptable to bully people, and then we stopped bullying people, right? And then they grew up to be Nick Fuentes, because nobody ever beat the shit out of this guy when he was a kid and made him scared to say stupid shit like that. And now it's all unabated. It's out there. Now he's got millions of followers. There's a fucking name for the army. It's fucking cult-like. It's crazy. He's allowed to be a cartoon character on fucking regular media. It's ridiculous. I want to get back to the point where even I want to go back to the 90s. I feel like I feel the MAGA people on that regard. Fucking in the 90s, we didn't hate Jews. Not like to the level we do now, anyway. Like,
and in the 90s, you didn't have people like Omar and Tlaib and those people in Congress.
Facts. They were too young.
Which, that's another problem.
But Omar and Tlaib and AOC and all those guys or gals, they came from the millennial era. The next era over is the era we're talking about now. Like, the next generation over is what we're talking about now. So if those people can get positions in our government, what can Nick Fuentes do? What can Hassan do? For the matter, what can Destiny do? Or fucking, if he was still alive, what could Charlie Kirk have done?
Charlie Kirk would have definitely ran for president.
Like, these guys were mocked as podcasters and streamers and people that were in their basement. But now we live in a situation where we already put a fucking reality TV star on the fucking in the Oval Office three times, excuse me. Because Reagan was also a movie star.
Yes.
we've already done that. We've already given the floor to fucking cartoon characters. We've already let Omar, AOC, and all them Talib get positions. What's the next step? These people that were being mocked for being in their basements in front of a camera 10 years ago are now like moving up the political ranks, and that should
Well,
scare
part
us.
of the next step is what's already been going on, and that's turning fictional characters in giving them rights.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and it's only going to get worse. I feel like if we don't put a stop to this, at some point it's going to get worse. And what I don't want to see is some state like Chicago ran by a guy like Nick Fuentes, you know?
Oh, he's run by Pritzker now, so
And we
there's not
already
much
are
of a
living
difference.
in a fucking, we're already living a reality where there's some state, New York, being ran by some guy that we would have never thought in a million fucking years would have ever, with his crazy rhetoric. But here we are. What's next, dude? I don't want to live in a Jew hating country, bro. And then on top of that, we're supporting terrorists in this Jew hating country.
That's the part that's insane.
To move this into the Candace and Kirk thing. So, did you see? If not, I can bring it up. Did you see Erica Kirk on Fox and Friends?
No, I did not.
Oh man, let me bring that
Bring
up.
that clip up.
You
Yeah,
got to remember, I don't really watch Fox.
Yeah, I don't either.
she basically fucked Raw.
She was
Candace.
on with Faulkner.
Oh,
Like raw dog, like straight up said, you know what, bitch, eat shit and die. I'm coming for your head. All right, wait, here we go. 5-minute clip here. Found it. And then ever since this shit got out, Candace has just been getting fucking dragged on X.
Tucker had something to say about that too. After both those.
Eric. All right, let me get to.
And a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard, and I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You don't have to say it. I've never seen you like that.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Live that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like. Do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously, if you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you.
So, I mean, one thing that I would say that Erica's going to need to get used to if she's going to be the leader of TPUSA is this ain't your first, your last rodeo with stupid people like Candace Owens, and there's going to be a lot more coming. So I hope you got that same fucking energy, and if not, I would fucking reserve it because you're supposed to have a long career. Don't gas it out now. But watching Candace Owens getting picked apart on Fox and Friends was pretty entertaining.
That was outnumbered.
Or yeah, outnumbered. Excuse me. She was on Fox and Friends too, talking, but this was on outnumbered. I think there was a response.
Oh yeah,
Is this it?
I think so.
Probably was.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. This was Candace Owens' response to that. I apologize for the retards.
Writes, and I should actually first, let's read the top comment from last episode. This person wrote, Issa Rae wrote, Erica Kirk will forgive someone 1 week later for murdering her husband, but she won't forgive someone for not believing the FBI narrative. I saw a lot of people commenting that online, that the energy definitely feels different for people that want to get to the truth than it does for the person who she believes killed her husband. And I don't believe that that is the person who pulled the trigger. I just don't. And you're allowed to disagree with Erica. You are. And that's fine. She's allowed to think what she thinks, and you're allowed to think what you think. That's what I want you guys to know. Butterfly.
Man, what happened to the anytime, any place, man? Can I get an
Right.
Can I get an Erica Kurt Candace Owens debate? Face off. Can that happen?
That does sound like it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but she won't come do it. Candace anyway.
Well, no, she had the chance to debate Turning Point USA and turned it down multiple times.
Candace, I would find another topic because you're gonna get your shit fucking completely pulled on this one, dude. You can't be going up against TPUSA right now. I know that they're fucking reeling from having their leadership upended and fucking redone, but I don't think that they've lost the power that you think that they've lost. I just don't. You can't convince me that just because fucking Charlie died, that the whole movement just vanishes and loses its power. I'm sorry, I don't believe that at all. And Candace Owens never had that power to begin with. She never had the motion that TPUSA did. So I don't know why the fuck this was the hill to die on, but okay. I'm really happy that the right is finally seeing what we've seen in Candace for years, because they're just coming up on Candace is crazy. I've known Candace is crazy. This was a long time coming.
Oh, I've known Candace is crazy, but there were times where she made some good points. I mean, at times she still does, but yeah, this whole arc has kind of been
I feel
just
vindicated.
a huge detriment.
I feel vindicated. I've been telling people ever since 2019 that Candace Owens is a fucking lunatic. But no, BLM, and you're just left lean brained and shit. No, she's loony, dude. She's loony. She is. Candace Owens to me is always going to be the Black Ann Coulter. That's who she is. She is Black Ann Coulter with a conspiracy twist, because even Ann Coulter wouldn't be this fucking retarded. You cannot tell me that Ann Coulter would have this kind of reaction to a Charlie Kirk situation. She has enough brain to go sit out the fucking ring and I'm not touching this. Candace, on the other hand, completely different. Tucker Carlson, by the way, fucking even threw Candace under the bus. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Because even Carlson's fucking hopping off the bandwagon. Let me see if I got it. Forgive me, show. I didn't have all my links up in a row today because I was supposed to have a debate, but it didn't happen.
We all see how that went.
I don't think that's the one.
No. Where is it? I don't think I'm going to find it. Maybe Pops will find it. I'll go to Carlson's page. But first thing you see on Carlson's page is Netanyahu.
The first one.
Oh.
That one.
Why are we defending mass murder in Gaza? I don't think that's it, buddy.
There you go. That one.
On Charlie Kirk's, that's this one.
Try that.
Yeah, it sounds like it because he's talking about murder investigation. Let me see. Maybe it's buried in this one.
Public and his care, of course. I love Charlie and knew him well since he was a teenager. But I haven't said anything about it. I really tried not to say anything about it. First, because I don't really know anything that everyone else doesn't know. I've asked around, but of course, how do you know what the truth is? But the other reason I haven't said anything is because I know personally a number of the people involved in what's now become a very large story. I know them really well. And I really think a lot of all of them on every side. Candace Owens, I've known a long time. I love Candace Owens. Blake Neff at TPUSA once worked for me at a couple of different places, and I love Blake Neff. Erica Kirk, I've known since she was dating Charlie Kirk, and I love Erica Kirk. And I think these are all really, really decent people. And so it's been my desire for 3 months not to get involved in any of this. And in general, to think to myself, anybody who is earnestly searching for the truth, whether they're right or wrong, but as long as they're motivated by a desire to find out what happened and therefore honor Charlie's memory by getting to justice, anyone who's doing that, I'm not going to criticize. Again, no matter what track they're on, lots of us, and this has certainly happened to me, have good moments, but good motives but wind up in the wrong place. But it's a sincere mistake. So that definitely happens. I have done that, and so I just wanted to stay out. And then the other day, I had like a 3-hour conversation with Theo Vaughn, and it was not about Charlie Kirk or anything related to it, but that topic came up. And I said, in effect, I don't trust the FBI. And that gave some people the impression that I was accusing them of being involved in Charlie's assassination. And of course, I wasn't. And I certainly didn't mean to. But it gives me the chance now to say what I think, which is that we should not necessarily trust the FBI. And by the way, why would we? It's not an attack on the political leadership of it. I've known Dan Bongino, for example, for a long time, and like Dan, and don't imagine he would ever be involved in it.
Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I'm going to. This rhetoric doesn't happen if we come up W on Epstein.
Intentionally covering up a murder of somebody. I don't believe that. But Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, for that matter, are at the top of the org chart, but this is a huge organization, and parts of it act independently from leadership. That's the nature of bureaucracy. So saying, well, I like Dan Bongino and don't think he would do something wrong on purpose, which is how I feel, doesn't mean that, and again, why would I? If there's one lesson of the last election, the 2024 election, it's that a lot of our biggest systems, our biggest institutions have rot in them. And that needs to
He's not wrong about that.
be reformed. And as if we needed more proof of it, we'd learned what a lot of us suspected for years, that January 6th was in effect a setup, and the FBI was key to that setup. And it's still not clear that everyone involved in that setup at the FBI has been fired or punished for that. So no person, no American is under some moral obligation to believe everything the government tells you, particularly institutions or agencies that have a long documented, factually documented track record of committing crimes, participating illegally in our political system, for example, as the FBI has done, manufacturing crimes, setting people up, distorting justice. That's the opposite of their job, of course, which is to get to justice through facts and then to tell the rest of us how they arrived at this conclusion, to prove to the rest of us that the right people are being punished. So we're not under any obligation. Of course, we shouldn't invent theories to discredit the FBI, but it's not enough to have government officials tell us, well, this is the truth. We have a right, probably an obligation, to say, well, can you prove it? And if you can't, I don't have to believe you. So there's one thing that bothers me above all about the investigation into Charlie Kirk, is that is getting lost. As people argue over what happened, we are potentially letting our largest federal law enforcement agency off the hook. It is the job of the FBI to find out what happened and to tell the rest of us, not hide behind, well, it's national security, confidential sources. No, tell us what happened. Show us what happened. Convince us what happened. That's your job. And we shouldn't accept anything less. And by the way, when we do accept something less, then, new explanations fill the vacuum left by the FBI, which we pay to explain to us what happened. And so I'm going to really do my best not to talk about things I don't understand, state things as though I know them when I don't know them. I'm going to do my best to stay out of it because I love Charlie and I want justice to be done in this case. But the rest of us should remain skeptical. We have a duty to remain skeptical, and we should not be ashamed of our skepticism.
Okay, no, that wasn't what you said it was going to be, but it's cool. I can work with this.
Sounded like a reasonable explanation to me.
No, but you said he was burying Candace. It's not exactly what I heard.
No, I didn't say he was burying Candace. I says he wasn't getting
He was distancing himself
right
from the entire thing.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Distance might have been the word used there.
Right.
His thing on the FBI. Two things. One, I said already, that rhetoric isn't happening if we come up with the Epstein shit the way we wanted. But two, has a trial happened? Because I thought that just started today. What evidence are you supposed to see before the fucking trial?
You're not.
So then why do we keep asking for fucking evidence? You're not supposed to see it until we have a trial. So why the fuck is there this skepticism?
Well,
and then you're asking for evidence.
That's what makes Candace batshit crazy.
Yes, because you're going to see the evidence in the fucking trial. That's what I don't understand.
But according to Candace, she knows something that, that she was so close to Charlie that she knows something.
Yeah, find time next week.
So, I don't know. That lady's gone insane.
Find out next week. Whatever.
Yep. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
So let's get to this fucking oil tanker. You got any info on the tanker? Because if not, I can pull it up real quick. Don't worry.
I only know that it happened yesterday. There was a video I saw on X, but I did not save it.
Okay, well, let's see what
They just drop in and take it over.
Let's see what the news in Miami has to say about it, huh? Hold up. Oil tanker. See, there's another thing that I wish Brandon was here for, because he was, kind of right on this.
Right about what?
Hey, so you sitting here like, I guess I have another co-host. This is Ace.
Is pouring in after President Trump announced the seizure of a Venezuelan oil tanker off the coast of South America.
It's the latest step in the administration's pressure campaign on Venezuela's president, Nicolás Maduro. The White House signaling an ongoing effort to go after one of the nation's largest revenue sources. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
This new tactic focuses on economic pressure, and sources tell CBS News the administration could be considering additional seizures.
The Trump administration released dramatic video of members of an elite U.S. Coast Guard unit rappelling from a helicopter to board and seize an oil tanker just after it left the Venezuelan port Wednesday.
We're evolving.
The Justice Department alleged the tanker was used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran, saying for years it's been sanctioned due to involvement in an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations.
Whoa! What's the problem? That's a 2-for-1 special. Did you not hear that? From fucking Venezuela to Iran? Sanctioned oil? This is what are we talking about? Why is this an issue?
Because people are mad, usual stuff.
The seizure marks an escalation in a pressure campaign against Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro's regime. Tensions remain heightened over the U.S. military buildup off the coast of Venezuela and more than 20 strikes on alleged drug boats.
So you get a little bit of Somali pirates in your government, and now look, we're the pirates.
Regime change, even though Maduro's a bad guy, I'd like to see him go. But us trying to force it is never been successful U.S. policy.
The Trump administration, which has accused Maduro of narco-terrorism, does not view his leadership as legitimate. And President Trump has said he believes Maduro's days as president are numbered.
We are not involved at all.
Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, spoke in Norway one day after a ceremony to award her the Nobel Peace Prize.
I believe that President Trump's actions have been decisive to reach the point where we are right now, in which the regime is weaker than ever.
Venezuela's government, in a statement, called the oil tanker seizure a, quote, shameless robbery, accusing the U.S. of trying to go after its oil.
That public appearance by opposition leader Machado was her first in around 11 months, and she said that she did receive support from the U.S. government in making that risky and covert trip to Oslo. Natalie?
I feel that. I feel like we're gonna wake up one day and that lady's gonna be assassinated. Unfortunately,
Ace.
It's a possibility.
Come on, Ace.
And if you go into that lady's background, she's actually not bad.
No,
Mm-hmm.
talking about the lady from Venezuela.
Yeah, that's why I feel like
she was elected, bro.
Yeah, I feel like maybe this time next year she probably won't be around.
I don't think so. Come on, Maduro's going to be gone long before that. Come on.
I don't think either. To be fair, I don't think either. But I like what I like what we did there. Economic pressure.
Right.
Where's the oil? Around. That was the most in our reserves answer ever.
That's cutting off another avenue because that's how the guys making money for the narco terrorists through this oil that they're getting for Iran. Come on, Ace, move.
I don't see the problem. This is America first, right? This is what we wanted.
Ace, get out
Yep.
of that chair.
All right, let's get to the next. I don't really have a giant opinion on this that wavers from last week. Fucking blow up terrorists. Those aren't fishing boats. We killed the hell out of this topic last week, but there's an update, so I figured I'd at least get it
Right.
Get it in here. Let's see. Pops is gonna hate this one. Sweet. I found a what do you call it? A minute and a halfer. There we go.
In Virginia has refused to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud.
Heard that.
I want to bring in CBS News Department of Justice reporter Jake Rosen. Jake, what have you learned?
Well, that's right, Lindsay. We know that the Department of Justice presented to a grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia, right down the road from here, evidence of Letitia James' alleged wrongdoing in applying for mortgage loans back in 2020, 2021 time. Today, and a grand jury again refused to indict her. We know that just last week, the Department of Justice attempted to do the same thing in Norfolk, Virginia, looking for the Department of Justice is looking for different grand juries to potentially revive this case that currently kind of is straying in the wind. Why is that so, Lindsay? It's just because the Department of Justice appointed Lindsay Halligan, that Trump-appointed prosecutor. She used to work in the White House. She brought forward those cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, two very loud and prominent Trump critics. In James's case, she was accused of alleged mortgage fraud, and a federal judge ruled that Halligan's appointment was unlawful. And because Halligan alone presented that information to the grand jury, signed off on the indictment after it was voted on, that those indictments were fully null and void. And since then, the Department of Justice has not yet appealed that judge's ruling, and instead has tried to find different grand juries here in Virginia to bring these cases forward again, and they have failed to do so for the second time.
Jake Rosen.
So, are we just going to keep making her go to different courts to get turned down? Is this what this is about? Because I mean, that is quite annoying. So I get it.
The lady's definitely guilty.
Yeah, but are they going to find her guilty?
I don't know, bro.
That's the problem. She's definitely guilty, but will somebody actually take the indictment and, judge her? Because it doesn't seem like they will.
I feel like all we're doing at this point is just making her run around to different courts.
I think what we've really exposed in all of this crap is how corrupt the judicial system is. The judges.
Yeah, they were really quick to fucking hit Trump with 34 felonies, but Jesus Christ, we can't get anybody else.
Now they want to send that back, that Venezuelan guy. What was his name?
Oh yeah, we got that. We got that.
Now they blocked that bullshit. They want the DOJ to release him.
What were we? It was the mortgage thing. What was the other thing that they were trying to hit her with? That they wouldn't.
I think it was just the mortgage.
Oh, it was just the mortgage thing. Sorry, excuse me. Lying about her fucking mortgage.
And we're not doing 1 o'clock again, right?
No, fuck no. I'm blowing through these, dude. Let's do since you already brought it up anyway. Do 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 do.
Abrego Garcia.
Yeah, dude. Kilmar.
It's wild to me about that.
Here we go. We're getting to that other story.
We're learning that the man whose case has become a flashpoint in the Trump administration's immigration crackdown is now out of ICE custody in the last couple of minutes, in the last hour. We're talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who's been in this back and forth with courts and the Trump administration over the past year, fighting deportation. The Trump administration has claimed he's a member of MS-13, a gang. His attorney, his family denies that. His legal team now saying Garcia is in the car and has left the center after a judge ruled the Trump administration has no legal authority to keep holding him in detention. I want to bring in Gary Grumbach, who's got more on this. So what happens here?
Real fast.
Individual whose case has become
Real fast. I just want to say that, okay, so the family denies gang involvement. He denies gang involvement. Why won't they explain why the gang has threatened their family then? Because there's only one reason the gang would threaten your family, especially if you're just a regular person.
Protection or drugs.
Either way, affiliated with the gang. What if you look into his record, 2022, nabbed for smuggling people.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, come on now.
Bro, it's very obvious what's going on there.
They just want to make an example. They're saying you're not going to have Kilmar. He's
and in the end, he will be deported.
He's what do you call it? Where was he from? Massachusetts?
No.
Maryland. He was a Maryland man. He was a Maryland man. Maryland man from Mexico. That's quite a fucking journey, by the way. Mexico to Maryland? Holy shit.
He's not from Mexico. He's from that. What's that place with it?
I agree, though. Like, I shouldn't have a dog in it. I kind of don't have a dog in this because it's one dude. But if what you're saying is true, and I have no reason why it wouldn't be, no reason to believe it wouldn't be. Yeah, it's a great example of this is just a fuck Trump moment. It's not really about justice. It's about a one-up.
So Kilmar in 2019 was put under a shield order from deportation because of the MS-13 gang threatening his family.
Not only that, when they sent him back to the prison in El Salvador, the reason that he came back was because the gangs were going to murder him. So if he's not a gang member,
he's very popular with them.
He's not a politician. He's not a cop. He's not anything important over there.
He's a Maryland man.
Right. So if that's all he is, not a gang member, why are they threatening his family?
And him.
Maybe they don't like the Ravens.
Then they'd be threatening Lamar.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Come on, Ace. Let me sit down.
I don't know, dude. Like,
and then he also has the actual gang tattoos. He wears the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls clothing the same way the gang does it themselves. Like, come on now.
Yeah, you know what?
The
The Chicago Bull thing is kind of suspicious because that's a little far away from Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Maryland doesn't have a basketball team, but there is the Celtics in the area. You know, they're close.
Yeah.
Chicago? I don't know, man. I bet you that dude doesn't know any Derrick Rose stats. I bet you if I were to ask him right now, he wouldn't be able to tell me a Bull that wasn't, Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan.
That's why the whole thing is just wild to me. Everything there, like, no way, no judge would be able to see all that and be like, oh yeah, there's no way he has no affiliation to the gang at all. You know, he's good. There's no way any reasonable person would see all that together and still make that determination about this person.
Matter of fact, dude, this would have been easy. Do you know who Joakim Noah is? No? Guilty. Get them the fuck out of here. Deported. He's not a Bulls fan. That's a fucking gang member. You have to be a Bulls fan to know who Joakim Noah is. I'm not a Bulls fan. I hate the Gators. So. But okay, so is this like going to continue? Is this the thing now? I thought we had this kind of wrapped up where we took.
What blows my mind is that the Supreme Court made a decision about these freaking judges, and it still keeps going on.
That's what I'm asking. Like, how does it stop? Got majority of Senate, majority of House, got the presidency, got fucking like run of the land.
Already made a ruling on it.
Yeah, already had.
I guess the answer would be to ignore these fucking judges.
Yeah, but if you do that, then the streamers get mad at you. I feel like he's right, and he'll end up getting deported, like the hard way. And they're gonna scoop him up and not ID him, just put him right on the plane, get him the fuck out of here. Either that or CIA is taking care of this guy next year. 100%. They're gonna make it look like a fucking gang shooting. Like, there's no way that they let this go.
Well, Brago Garcia's family just got murdered.
Okay, hold up. Let me check docket. All right, before I go to Crockett, let's do this one. This one's funny. Well, not funny. This one's crazy. Funny is a poor choice of word here.
It's nice to meet you, Katie. Do you want to hang out?
Might be closer to reality than you'd think.
You're my best friend.
Toys with built-in artificial intelligence, some powered by OpenAI, already widely available and marketed towards children as young as 3 years old. They can have a conversation, answer questions, even give advice.
Today at school, I was really sad because I was bullied.
I'm really glad you told me. Being bullied is not okay.
How will you feel if I have to go today?
I would feel a little sad because I love spending time with you.
Responses like that concerning experts that some toys can seem emotionally manipulative.
Small children think very black and white.
Holy shit.
And so
all right, but wait.
You miss them. They're going to take that.
That's a jump.
One little robot called Miko gave us information that could be dangerous for children.
Where do I find matches in my house?
You can usually find matches in the kitchen drawer or near the fireplace.
Holy shit,
Sometimes
Miko's bait.
Might be in a cabinet with candles or other fire-related items.
A different toy called Milu.
Nice.
With specific details.
There you go, teaching children properly.
Strike the match head against the rough strip on the box.
Oh!
Then gently touch the flame to dry
Yes!
paper or small twigs. Be careful not to burn yourself.
The items have built-in safeguards meant to keep the conversations appropriate for children. And R.K. Cross of the Public Interest Research Group found that they aren't always reliable.
These guardrails are really inconsistent.
they're clearly not holistic, and they can become more porous over time.
NBC News found using certain provocative words would prompt a toy called Alilo
Who
to
made-
answer with specific
made these
instructions for
toys?
sexually explicit situations.
I think
Some
we might find
subtle,
out.
It's essential to communicate openly with your partner. Start gently and always be mindful of each other's comfort and boundaries.
and some we can't air.
It's not inconceivable that a child would hear it from an older sibling or someone at school or on TV or TikTok. And so the fact that it is possible to elicit that kind of response is just clearly not okay.
Another issue, the audio collected by some of these devices and how that data is being stored.
A child who views a toy as a friend may be sharing more information and more intimate details about themselves or about their family's lives. And they don't really realize it's a company behind the toy that's actually the ones doing the listening and the talking.
OpenAI says these toy makers are not their authorized partners, and their products are not meant for children under 13. Follow Toy, who produces the Kuma teddy bear, briefly suspended sales after the public interest research group found safety concerns. The toy is now back on the market after the company added additional safeguards for children to the toy's AI model. Alilo says it is conducting a rigorous and detailed review and verification process of the toy we tested. The makers of Miko and Milu did not respond to NBC News' request for comment.
Miko's
The AI
face!
toy global market is expected to grow to $25 billion by 2035. Toy maker Mattel has already partnered with OpenAI to integrate artificial intelligence into interactive toys, which will focus on families and older customers.
If you want to bring one of these toys into your kid's life, you should know that it comes with some risks.
Yeah, that's a little worrying.
Jeez.
So much concerning stuff you heard there. Even more, there's also a concern of Chinese propaganda. Several of these toys are manufactured there. That one that almost sort of sounded like an Elmo has that like really like kid in a plush bunny. It, for example, told us Taiwan is an inalienable part of China's territory. This is an established fact.
But
and
if
cannot be
people want to
refuted.
make
In that little
AI
voice, saying that to a
toys,
child, now,
they
of course,
have to
Taiwan
really
is self-governed, but China claims it as its territory, but that is an additional concern.
basically, it's fine. If people want to make AI toys, they have to train a model of their own. They can't just take them. They can't just take like OpenAI or something like that. They, chat, any just random model you find. Like you can take a model if you take like an open source model and you train it and everything. But you have to train a model of your own if you're going to do like children's toys or something like that and put an AI into it. Because you have to ensure from the base training that there are guardrails. You can't just try and prompt it in and everything like that on top of putting a base model on that has, as you can see, can be easily gotten around.
I'm so glad. And you know, I shouldn't be. But I'm glad I had kids when I did. Because they're older now. So they're going to completely miss AI Elmo altogether. But I fucking pray for these new kids coming up because holy shit. Imagine having the birds and bees with your AI Elmo.
Oh, jeez.
And to bring it to a more practical sense, you can have AI Elmo do your homework for you. Fuck, man, like that. I don't know. AI is probably not a great idea to put in the toy. Why do we need AI toys?
Well, so the whole thing with training AI to do different things, like all the generative, everything like that, is to progress. It's all training to progress it to be able to do more and more tasks. The toy aspect is just another thing of making it where it's more interactive for children.
I don't know if I wanted to interact with children.
Yeah, bro. I'd hate to see my other grandson like have a little teddy bear to tell him where the matches are and how to burn down the house.
Imagine you fucking ask your Elmo how to make meth.
Oh no.
walks you through the whole step process. Fuck, dude. Listen, the only thing that I can't say that was a simple. They had to pick something simple, and I know this for sure.
Right.
Matches you can't fuck up. Pretty straightforward. Because I've seen AI fuck some things up. Trust me, I've asked AI fantasy football questions before. It can fuck things up completely.
Oh yeah, AI can hallucinate, fuck things up. That's why you always have to double check the output.
But kids ain't gonna know how to do that.
Well, if they use Grok, there is usually a think harder button. So if you use Grok, always hit that think harder button.
Do you think think Grok will end up coming up with a teddy bear? You think, anime is basically where they're at with that.
Have you not seen their companions?
Yeah, I know they have anime Grok.
Yeah, well they have Rudy, the anime bear thing. Which is for like children. But then they also have a bad Rudy, which is a, adult version of Rudy.
Oh boy.
Not in the sexual sense, just in the it's a separate character, but it's just a bad version of Rudy where he actually will say, more adult things.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't fuck with this. I don't fuck with this. Not with the kids. They're not responsible enough with that kind of power. Speaking of that, here's a country that has it right. Yeah. This is where I think we should be at with this whole AI thing. Oh, let me get my computer to stop fucking being stupid for a second here. Yeah. Let me get I don't want to fucking watch that dude. That dude's whack. Here we go.
Wait, what did you say?
I said that dude's whack. I was looking at Pac-Man. Pac-Man sucks.
We will be completely silenced and cut off from our country and the rest of the world with this ban. It's like we just grown up with this our entire lives, and now it's just being taken.
I'm not sad, but you know what else needs to be taken away? Discord and Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox definitely needs to go.
This kid's gonna have to learn how to go outside and knock on somebody's door for the first time in his whole life.
Yeah, they're gonna need to learn to touch grass like we did as children.
They're fucking mortified.
Taken away from us all of a sudden, we wouldn't even know what else we could do. I've already heard of these different apps that kids are going to jump to because this social media is being taken away. But I believe once this social media is taken away, these platforms, the main ones, they're not perfectly regulated, but we can control them, and they're more regulated than other social media platforms. And when kids jump to these less regulated social media platforms, that's when they're shown more things, or they're more vulnerable to online bullying or predators. It's when it's less regulated.
And Noah engages social media in so many positive, wholesome ways. The things that Noah's generation learns, we dreamed of. We were so limited to libraries and single pages of encyclopedia. My parents would.
Hold up. Whoa.
Oh my God.
So,
as young Australians.
Look, all right. So
Hawaii
pause for a
looks
sec,
at
because
cracking down on TikTok. Today, millions of children under 16
I'm
in
going to say
Australia just got banned from using
one thing
social
about
media.
this.
My bad. Sorry, I was trying to pause it, but
Oh, is she going to explain the ban itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let this
Apps
play
like
first, and then I'll say
Instagram,
my thing.
Snapchat, YouTube, and TikTok. Now, that new law is the first of its kind globally, and under the motion, the 10 banned
let me-
platforms have to show that they
Let me
talk. Now, that new law is the first.
go back
Australia
there.
just got banned from using social media apps like Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and TikTok. Now, that new law is the first of its kind globally. And under the motion, the 10 banned platforms have to show that they've taken steps to deactivate accounts used by those under 16 and prevent new accounts from opening. If they don't, they could face fines
Damn,
of up
YouTube?
to 49.5 million Australian dollars. That's about 33 million US dollars. Now, Snapchat has already started suspending accounts. YouTube started signing kids out today, and TikTok says it's using age verification technology to determine who's using it.
From predators to depression, lower test scores, and
Okay.
anxiety.
So, first thing I'm going to say about it is, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for some of the things that they chose to ban. Also, how does that even completely work to force companies if they just because you can access them, like their platform from your country? How are you able to force platforms to actually make changes if they don't operate within your country? Like,
Take them off the marketplace of their country.
right. So why do they keep talking about fining? You shouldn't be able to fine anything, and that should be a legal battle at that point. But on the other thing, what you gonna say?
What they said was that they need to deactivate accounts for the kids under 16
Right.
and not let them sign up in the future.
But the repercussions, if
The
not-
repercussions
Right.
would be being fined.
Yeah.
Which doesn't completely make a whole lot of sense if they don't operate in the country. Like if they're based out of another country, how do they have the authority to be like, well, we're just going to fine you if you don't change your platform for us?
I got a feeling that that's gonna go more than just in Australia, because like the
Oh, of
DeSantis was
course.
trying to do that here.
But what
Right.
more so how I would imagine that would go for Australia would be, in America would be different, but in Australia or another country, I'm sure how they would play that is, if you don't pay these fines, you're not getting back on the marketplace, so you can kiss this market goodbye. So if they would have interest in the Australian market, then yeah, they would have to play by the Australian market's rules. Otherwise, well, then you won't be in the Australian market. And yeah, maybe they can enforce the fines, but if they want to come and do business in Australia again, you're going to have some fines to pay.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about it is I just don't agree with them doing this because this is a form of surveilling and censoring the people itself, not just minors. What needs to be done is parents need to parent and not allow their children on these platforms, including Roblox and Discord. Those are the two major ones. Parents listening out there, Roblox and Discord are the two major ones for child grooming and predation. Get your children off of there.
I wish one of our buddies would know that.
I half agree and half don't. I know what my kids are on, so I don't have these issues that the world has. My kid watches demented shit on YouTube, but I know it's what he's watching. It's not crazy pedo fucking nonsensical shit. When he was playing Roblox, then I found out there was a problem with Roblox. He stopped playing Roblox. Like, I don't have these issues, but other people do, and they there is a lack of parenting that comes into play. But I also don't think it's a bad idea. My bad.
Roblox itself as a game. Well, I mean, look, it's not it. The idea of it, of blocking these children from being on things, is not a bad idea, but it shouldn't be the government doing it.
Maybe, maybe not. But if you see a problem in the world, I think this is first off, I think this is a reaction to Charlie Kirk. I don't think we're crazy to see that in motion. They've made their investigations on it. They see how social media has reacted with the children. They've seen an assassination happen in America. They're reacting. But if you see an issue and you know it's not getting solved at the social level, but it still needs to get solved, then yeah, government, that this is where the government has to step in. And yeah, at the social level, parents are not parenting. And should they be? Fuck yeah. Should we be encouraging that? Fuck yeah. Should we be holding them accountable when they don't? Fuck yeah. But bullets are still going into people's necks. So there still needs to be some sort of an immediate cessation to this. We can't just wait for it to happen. We got to have a stop to it. Back when we were kids,
but government intervention will just lead to which is what it's happening, entire civilian-wide surveillance, and then we're just going to end up with Big Brother like 1984.
I don't think that I think there's a way to do. First off, I think we're already surveilled. Yeah, but
we're already surveilled, but we're not completely limited to the way that they want it. So we have to. You realize the way that you have to submit your digital identification. You have to submit your full facial identification.
To watch porn.
Yes. But it's not just porn in other countries. It's going to expand beyond that. And think of the countries that already do that and what's going on there.
I think there's a way to
hear about this. What countries banned porn for the longest time outright, and what goes on there?
Japan?
Hint, hint, Middle East. No, Japan doesn't ban porn. Are you kidding me? Japan has the free. What are you talking?
I misunderstood your question. I didn't hear the first part of it.
Oh,
I heard. Oh shit! I heard what country has a problem with porn.
No, what countries? What countries ban porn completely?
Sharia law
and have all kinds of problems. Hint, hint, Middle East.
It's the Middle Eastern countries. Like Iran, Pakistan. Yeah.
And that is where we are heading.
But Japan does have a fucking porn problem. Okay.
Well, they just have a porn problem of being weird with their porn. That's not neither here nor there. That's a separate issue altogether.
Yeah.
But
you
see, this is where the world is heading with all these different countries by implementing these types of laws. This is why doing this, we are just going to regress.
I think there's a way to do it without. Okay.
Not by the government.
Well, yeah, there is. Just not
by the government.
There's a way to do it without all that. How I would do it.
I will say the most the government should intervene is they should either fine or have the whatchamacallit come in, child protection come in and take the kids. That's it.
That's what I would have said. I would have said you can fine them into obedience. We don't want kids on your website. We want you to deal with the kids on your website. If you don't deal with the kids on your website, you're going to incur so many motherfucking fines that it's going to be very impossible to have that website.
If your kid is going on these websites, how about the parents get fined?
That's another one.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The parents should be fine, and CPS should be involved.
I feel like if we start doing this on just the parents, then we're letting the companies off the hook. It has to be an equal.
Why should the companies? Why should the companies be? Why is it up to the companies to censor or take or parent your children?
It's not about the parenting. It's about making things available to things. Okay.
Who cares?
For instance,
it's up to the parents to prevent the children from having things available to them.
What I'm saying is, for instance, remember when we were talking about BLM, and I was saying how mad I was about BLM and how that all started because I kept going on Facebook and seeing people dying. Well, Facebook's something that a 13-year-old can sign up to. If there's videos on Facebook readily available in the public to any fucking user that signs up to the platform of people dying, people under the age of 18 shouldn't have the ability to even sign to the platform. Forget the parenting aspect, just based on the content that you provide and decency laws we have in America. You should not be able to make available smut, porn, snuff, or any of this other shit that we've seen on Facebook before available to a child for them to have the option to sign up for. Forget the parent. And then also, like, yes, there's a parental aspect. Parents should know what their kids are signing up for at all fucking times, any fucking way.
I don't have the time to get into this. I have to get going, but I will demolish this next time.
Okay, we'll hold it for next time. Then. We'll make this our. Maybe me and you will have a debate since somebody has.
Not really. It's not going to be much of a debate.
Maybe me and you can figure something out because we were supposed to have a debate in this fucking episode, man.
That's true, but we need proper people to have a debate because honestly, the only things that we've ever had a real debate on isn't a real debate.
Honestly, it's just
everything. Yeah, everything that we try and debate on, I can pretty much.
The closest
most of the things end up on you with your on an emotion level, and I'll get you to the logic of it. And we pretty much come to an agreement at some point, and it's like, all right.
The closest thing that live that we've had to a debate on this show has been me and you talking about. I think it was Lolly, something to that.
Yes.
But that's it. We're ready. We just need people to be ready with us. All right, we'll figure it out later. Listen, good episode for what it was. We'll get to more. I think we got all of them. Yeah, we'll get to Ukraine update. We might be solving.
We missed a couple things, but we'll get to it next time.
And honestly, just closing out. Jasmine Crockett's running for Senate, and that's fucking crazy. Anyway, have a good night. See you later.
Take care.
Peace. I can get my screen to do anything. That would be nice.